All right, good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion from the Court of Nature. I don't know what do you call this? Oh man, I'll tell you, I have my music, but I don't have my sound effects. So I mean, I've got some, but not all of them.
Why is a dog chewing on this guy?
Oh boy!
There's a canine.
See, I think this is working. Let me see if I can bring my camera up here. And I'm here, I think. I think I'm on. I think I'm live. Oh man, let's see. Live chat has moved. Well, where's live chat? There it is. I am here. It's beautiful. It is absolutely wonderful here. It is amazing. There we go. I can see me. I just need to have this so I can see you. See your comments. All right. So I have everything but a place to put my phone, which I need. Well, all right. This is where it's going to have to be. Welcome to. First of all, I've got. You guys hearing like a weird echo? Echo. Is that better? I think that's a little bit better. Welcome. First, I want to welcome Mystic Mama, who is first in chat. Congratulations, being first in chat has its punishments or penalty or prize in your case. As you know, first in chat, you win the internet. So congratulations for that. The internet is all yours today. I'm looking scruffy. I'm not going to shave all week. I'm going to have like a full beard. It's going to be like ZZ Top by the weekend. I did not bring anything to shave with. So unless somebody looks at me and just says, "Look, you need a razor," and goes and buys one, it's not going to happen. So it's going to be a little rough. You can hear the sandpaper already. It's already kicking in. Sorry about the backdrop. This is their little this little auditorium where we do a little skits and plays and sing a bunch of songs. I would show you what. Let me see. I think I can. I want to show you how I'm set up here. Let's see if we take this guy and move it over here. Okay, so I have a cloth set up that's shade because down here I've got all my equipment, the live views down there. That's how I'm getting to you. I've got my switcher, an extra microphone, cables, everything else I need. That camera is right there, and here I am. So my camp is actually, if you look down here where those boys are walking from, my camp's around the corner. You can't really see it, but it's down the hill a little ways. We are in the mountains, so it's absolutely beautiful. Let's see. I think I have picture-in-picture functioning. Maybe I need to maybe move over. Is that better? Okay. I think that's it. I just feel like you're looking at the top of my head. So if I have a bald spot, please let me know. We have some amazing stuff to go over. First of all, yesterday we had the first time in the channel's history we got to see a judge enter an acquittal. Sustain the motion for both dismissal and that's my son who's yelling Kevin in the background. Yeah, we've got like 40 boys running around all over here, so they're looking for something fun to do. Let's see. Let me. I'm sort of chopped off. Gonna adjust my camera. All right, all the camping essentials. Yes, right here in this corner of the camping essentials. I left home important things, like actual important things, like for instance, a nice comfortable pad to sleep on instead of the rocks that I currently am sleeping on. I don't know how I'm going to survive a week of this. I might have to run to Walmart and say, what's the thickest, most comfortable pad you have? Because I brought multiple pads, but my boys did not bring any, and they're sleeping on the same thing I am, and I can't just be like, well, suck it up, But so I've had to divvy them up, and I have a little bit of pad, but that's it. It's quite the setup. I have power. I've got a power outlet, That's why I'm up here on the stage. It's the only place there's a power outlet in the entire sort of campground, this group campground. I forget what state park we're at, but we're by a big lake. And I remember as we came in, we're all excited because, the lake, there's fishing, there's boating, there's swimming. And we pull in and there's a big sign that's like, swimming area and boat docks are closed. We're like, why are they closed? And it's like, because there's too much water. They had a rainstorm a couple days ago and the water has not subsided. So it's flooded and they keep everything closed for that reason. So let's see. I'm trying to follow chat. JRBTX, mic is a bit hot. Let me crank that down just a little bit. Actually, give me a second as I cycle through it. Hang on. Now it's really hot. Now it's too low. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Negative 24 decibels. Is that better? It's not blowing you out with my breathing and everything else. Thanks for the feedback there, JRBTX. Love camping. Sore throat, good morning. Good to have you here. Sharon as well. It's a very inviting campsite. No, I did not bring an air mattress. Some people did, but I did not. I do not even have a fan in my tent. I do have a couple battery chargers so I can charge my phone and my watch. Other than that, I've got just what you see here, which is my whole studio. It's a beautiful morning though. It cooled way down. It cooled down. Don't tell Mrs. R.A. this. She's not watching right now, but it cooled way down to like 68 degrees or something last night, and it was just heaven. Just had the screen doors closed so the air was blowing through the tent. It was nice and comfy, and it was amazing. I was expecting that. I was surprised. Creepy doesn't equal murder. They didn't even prove a death happened. Angie, yes. Talking about Michael Turney, I was watching some of the other channels, some of the big channels. I know Court TV was talking about it, and they were blown away. They were like completely flabbergasted. Like, we've never seen this happen, and neither had we. But as we were going through the trial, we looked at this. You remember, it was probably probably 3 or 4 days ago that we went and we looked at the elements of the charge and said, this is what needs to be met. And have you guys heard anything to these elements? And it wasn't there. So we did expect it a little bit more than they did. Still, it's exciting to see the judge dismiss and acquit. But it was fun. Son has sneakers. Yes, he does. We brought his shoes for him. You have your metal detector with you? Maybe I have 2 metal detectors with me. I'm not allowed to metal detect in the state park. That is against the law, and so I will not be doing that unless they specifically give me permission, which is the one caveat to allow it. So the only time I have metal detected in the state park, I did specifically have permission from the park ranger. But I will not be doing that here unless they give me permission, which I don't think they will. They haven't even come through the campsite. We have, the campsite we have, I think we pay $125 a night for the tent site. So we've got maybe 15 to 20 tents. And then they've got some leaders that have a full-size RV down at the RV lot. But we've got everything set up. We built a merry-go-round. If you saw this on the live stream yesterday, they built a merry-go-round out of like lodge pole pines and that we brought with us. We didn't cut them down, and it's like fully functioning. You can get on and spin. And it goes both directions. It's pretty cool. Let's see. It's my birthday, says Lisa. Lisa, you're testing the limits of my abilities and embarrassment. Let's see what we can do here. Is it anyone's birthday other than Lisa? Hey, Cachette, welcome. Fans are a must. Some of the other guys have fans. I do have 150 feet of extension cord that I can run all the way to my tent from here. And I've got another 50 feet in my tent or in my car. So I could, in theory, I could run a fan. I just didn't bring one, which makes it a little harder to run the fan. Let's see. Ari is so prepared to go camping. I've done a lot of camping. I love it. I mean, I don't have any. I'm not leaving anything home that I regret. Other than that, as I get older, I forget how important the pad is for comfort at night. Let me just say, I just about committed a crime and eliminated, ended a couple kids' lives long before they were due, because we had a group of about 7, 8 boys who last night decided they were going to pull an all-nighter even though we have quiet hour starts at 10 o'clock, and we fudge a little bit. We say, okay, we'll push till midnight. Well, they pushed right through midnight. They pushed through 1, 2, 3. At 4 a.m., I finally got up. They were playing a game called 9 Square, which is like a tic-tac-toe board in the air. It's built out of PVC pipes, so they're like 8 feet in the air, and the squares are 8 feet by 8 feet. And you have somebody stand in each square, and then you toss a ball, sort of like volleyball. And if it falls through your square and hits the ground, or if you hit it and it goes outside of the larger square, then you lose your position. You have to go back to the back, and the goal is to work your way around into the middle. Anyway, they were playing that at full volume, and I got dressed, walked up because it's over on the other side of the hill, and it was just deafening. Nobody could sleep through it. And I got there at the top of the hill, and I'm sitting there, and I had to stop. I'm watching them play and yell and everything, and I had to stop and just take a deep breath. I was like, don't do anything that would get you arrested. Violence is not the answer. And so I paused for about 30 seconds, and the boys actually saw me, and they're like, oh, it's him. And they got really quiet, and then they sort of just, started, grouping up a little bit, because I was in the exit path as well. They couldn't run and leave, and I knew who it was. And even though they're not like the boys we brought, they're boys that I'm familiar with from some other units. And so I said, do you guys know what quiet hour means? You know what the quiet hours are? I said, just so you know, if any of these other campgrounds complain, all of us can get kicked out. And they're like, oh, okay, sorry. And then they went to bed. So then I went to bed. So that's how that went. Let's see. I have, I'm the enforcer, says Red Pen. Okay, who do I need to sing to? Before I go too far. Birthdays. Lisa, anyone else? I think it's just Lisa. Let's see. Lisa, Meanie Banana. We had Cots. I'm just going to sing to Lisa, because that fits better in the song, if that's all right. Okay, I don't see any other birthdays. I'm sorry, I don't have the buffer sound going. Does the seat command work? Oh, it does. I coordinated with Mrs. R.A. this morning at dark 30 before she left, because she's in Raleigh right now. But I coordinated with her to turn on the computer and run the program that runs the commands, but it can't do the audio. So all the audio commands I have to be plugged in to get, but the seat commands, anything that just triggers a word response, it will work. So that is awesome. BBE Cat, an animal lover, welcome to the gallery. Love to see that courthouse color changed by your name. Looks great. Thank you very much. Okay, Lisa, we have to sing. Okay. You guys have to sing with me. That's the only thing that will help, because everyone else is just watching me. They can't even hear the music. So it's just me singing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I've got people down at this van and down over here and just staring at me going, what in the world? But happy birthday, Lisa. I'm of all the days, of all the places you can be here on your birthday, I'm grateful that you're here spending it with us. This is exciting. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. You share a birthday with one of my sons, just who is not watching either. He's in Raleigh right now. And I called him this morning and wished him a happy birthday in person as well. All right. Let's see, sorry, I'm out of picture, I know that, but I need to get everything ready for, okay, right here, right there. All right, we have a couple things I wanted to talk about. I might pull up, just briefly, if I can get it to work, one of the videos. Hold tight here. Oh, you hear those birds singing? That was me, but the other birds are beautiful. Hey, if somebody can answer me, actually, we've got a question. We saw an animal, or one of the other leaders saw an animal last night that we've never seen before and don't know what it is. But apparently it's a nocturnal animal that looks sort of like a rat that climbs trees. Okay, it's like a wild wood rat or something that climbs trees, and it's fairly small, but seems to have pretty good-sized eyes. Does anyone know what it is? And I realize I'm in North Carolina. It's got to be sort of a native to this area, or invasive species of something. But if anyone can tell me what it is, Is that a caterpillar tent and the small tree in the front of the blue tent? Which one? Which one? I don't know. A hairless squirrel? Are chipmunks nocturnal? I thought chipmunks were out during the day, because I have not seen any squirrels or chipmunks during the day at all, and nor any rodents of any size. We've seen toads, frogs and toads and slugs, because apparently it's always sort of, a little bit humid here in the forest. Debbie says I always sing with you, but when you hit that deep part, it wasn't pretty on my end. Is it a sugar glider? I thought like sugar gliders have always been like that exotic pet that the cool people have. They're the ones that like jump into your hand. If it's a sugar glider, that would be awesome. We'll have to look for some of those. Hopefully I'll be able to see that. A raccoon, no, it's smaller than a raccoon. Possum, do possums climb trees? They're bigger. Muskrat, flying squirrel. I don't know. I'd like the idea of a sugar glider. Baby Bigfoot. Oh, thank you. Wrong answers only. Oh man. Okay. I was going to pull up. I think we'll just talk about it. The Michael Turney trial. Let me first make sure my video is working properly. Live trial. Okay. Okay. I don't know where it went. We're gonna talk about a couple things, but it looks like it's working. Let me bring up just a background, a quick letter, just to see if my connection's working properly. I should have tested this before. Let's see. I might move this camera over here to change the view a little bit. That didn't work. Okay, the camera's working. That's a good thing. Okay, before I break everything, I'm just going to leave it the way it was. Okay, it's a little bit small. It's not full screen, but it'll work. Okay, so we're going to go back. We're going to talk about Sarah Boone and her letters in a minute, but we'll go back and deal with that in just a second. Okay, first thing with Michael Turney, we talked about the acquittal and the dismissal. He cannot face these same charges again because double jeopardy applies. So there's no chance, but he could possibly face, and the way I understand it, he could face other charges. Like if they suddenly found evidence that was that proved that he didn't just commit second-degree murder, but he committed, capital murder, first degree. I believe they could charge him with a different charge that way. I'll have to find out from more legal minds, but I believe he can still face charges if more evidence comes in. But it can't be this second-degree murder charge. Is that the understanding? You can't face the same charge twice, but there are other ways to sort of get around that. Also with federal instead of state charges. So there's some options there as well that he could be charged federally. So if something happens, has Sarah's letter been published? Eileen, it has not yet. I just checking this morning. I just looked through. I just have the 7 letters that she's already written to the judge. With a couple duplicates because she wanted to make sure they got scanned in properly. I saw something on a tree, but it was gone now. Keep an eye out for the sugar gliders. I went back to watch the rest of Michael Turney. Yes, double jeopardy applies because he was acquitted. That's important. They can't just try over and over again and say, well, we didn't get the conviction this time, we're going to try it again and see if we can get it this time. You get one shot, as the state goes. And this one, honestly, they should not have brought to trial. Not that he, I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm saying in the eyes of the court right now, he is not guilty of this crime. He's guilty of other crimes, the whole explosive thing that was a problem. Let's see. It is so peaceful, Stacy. It's beautiful. Sugar glider is a gliding possum. It has big eyes. Okay, Lindy, we're going to watch for those at night. Let's see. Anyway, so he's free. I think it can take up to 24 hours, so he still might actually technically be at the jail or being released this morning. But he is free basically today, and he's out on his own. He can do whatever. I heard that Sarah is sort of keeping a low profile right now. She's not really making statements. That might change today with her podcast. During this court case, there was not a gag order on her, but I think they had talked about it or discussed it, and she voluntarily agreed to sort of dial it back on the public front during the trial, to not be talking about stuff. People are yelling. And so she's dialed it back. I think now that the trial's over, she may pick that up again, but I don't know how much she's going to talk, honestly. Now she's, she risks a possible, I guess she did before, but a possible lawsuit for, what she says if he's been acquitted of these charges. You can't say he's guilty when he's been acquitted, so. Let's see. The interesting thing about the judge doing this, the jury, we know, as we sat and listened to the evidence, the jury did not hear so many different things. They didn't hear about the lie in the concrete. They didn't hear about a lot of things that were excluded. So in the comments he had made, things like that, a lot of that was excluded. Some of the evidence was just not admissible in court, and they didn't hear that. The judge did hear all that. And still made the decision. So you've got to look at that, and mad props to the judge, because this takes guts to do that. Because if, as I said, if I had heard all that evidence as a jury member, and had to weigh in on this, I'd be hard pressed to acquit. That would take some time, but I'd be looking pretty hard to see if there's enough to get me past reasonable doubt at that point. Even though they haven't proven that she's dead, I agree with the judge. A reasonable person can conclude that she is. But the judge saw all that and still dismissed it and acquitted him, because he has to consider just the evidence in the trial. So he was able to do it, knowing everything, and still make the right decision. Now, that's what you call a green screen, Thomas. It is a beautiful green screen. It's beautiful. Although something dripped on me, and it wasn't raining. And so I'm thinking, it was earlier. I'm thinking there might have been a little bird. And I've got a little gap in the trees, so I don't know how it fell on me. But I've got a little, it's actually a spandex sheet that I've stretched over my equipment to try to protect it from, other things that might drip down, or sunshine or anything else. Let's see, the trial was crazy. Jan was acting like someone else did it. I saw Jan came to a conclusion yesterday as well. Conviction on all counts, which is, he was very surprised about, shaking his head during the conviction, during the sentencing, or the verdict, sorry. My granddaughter goes around saying "kitty kitty bang bang" every time she hears your voice, says Grace. I wonder how many jury members go back and watch the case to see what they didn't see. Maddie, now that they're off, they're excused, they can. But how frustrating for those juror members who just took, a little bit over a week of their life out. Already, all the notes they took, all the preparations, all the things they sat through, the details, and the boring moments and the exciting moments, and all the waiting, and then just to be told by the judge, never mind, guys, I took care of it. It's got to be a little bit frustrating. Natural sunscreen. Love to know how the jury was leaning. Perpetual Autumn, they can talk now. They can talk, even though they didn't deliberate. They heard all the evidence from the prosecution, and that is enough. Even though they didn't hear anything from the defense. Defense can present evidence. They don't have to. There's no burden on them to do that. So at the end of the prosecution, they should be able to say, yes, he's guilty, or no, he's not. They shouldn't have to wait for the defense to do that, although it can help, provide additional information. But do you have a new trial picked for us yet? Debbie, we're not going to start a new trial this week. We're going to be looking into Sarah Boone this week. We're going to talk about Michael Turney today. I've got some letters. I've got all of her letters. I was going to read a letter every day this week. We'll have to do like two one day, 2 days just to get through. And then there's a chance as well. I want to get these letters read and caught up so we can be in her mindset. when her new letter drops, which should happen this week. It could happen any day, but when it does drop, we'll go live with that anyway. So we want to get some of those letters started as well. How about regretting not bringing up Mrs. R.A.? I will tell you, she did not warn me at all that she was going to go live on my channel when I was gone. I didn't know she had enough equipment to do it, but she did. She logged in and set up the live. And it's weird getting notified on your own channel that you're going to go live when you hadn't scheduled one. And so I'm like, what did I do? What did I push? What button did I push that set that up? And I checked and it says Mrs. R.A. and so I gave her a quick call and she was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm like, you're doing what? But it was really funny. She's probably going to do it again throughout this week, just to stay in touch with me. I told her next time though to use StreamYard. That way I can pop in and we can actually both be on camera together, as opposed to just her by herself. So that'll be fun. Anyway, she's awesome. She's amazing. I didn't even leave any cords. I took, in the Dr. Seuss story when it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, when they says, let's see, he took every present and everything, and the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. That part, that was basically what I did with the electronics. I took everything of value, everything that's useful. I did leave my big camera, but I took all the cables that would plug that camera into a computer. So she has nothing, but she had the computer. She was able to, I left a laptop as well. I left both computers. I just have an iPad, and she was able to get it set up. She's awesome. I would say watch out. She'll be on this week again, maybe even this afternoon. I don't know. She might do a daily thing. You can work together. Yeah, I told her, I said, let's do StreamYard. That way we can both be on. Even the Who-Ham. Yeah, and the last thing he took was the log from their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. Yeah, I like the Dr. Seuss book. That's one of my favorites. All right. Any questions about Michael Turney from anyone? If before we move on to Sarah Boone. Maybe know Mrs. R.A.'s first name. Her name is Jen. Jenn. I guess technically it's Jennifer, but I think I've called her that once in her life. She's Jen to me. Yeah, 2 N's, Jenn. I love that you can quote Dr. Seuss verbatim. I'd quote the whole thing, but I do have that book memorized, but it's copyright issues. I can't do it. She's going to steal my channel. She does a great job. She has her own channel. Ella Cole, thank you. She says, I leave for one trial and come back and find out we are camping now. Hey, we're camping, but we're still live. We're still following courts. We don't have a court this week, so we're talking about Sarah Boone. We're going to read her letters in the morning and then just discuss whatever else is happening, things that are coming up, trials that we're looking forward to. I will say, even though Sarah Boone is still technically scheduled, we know that it's pushing. We know that it's pushing so much that that yesterday the prosecution filed with the judge a notice of inavailability, saying basically, oh, by the way, Judge, we're just putting on record that we're not going to be here in September for this week period. I'm not available. I'll be gone. And why would the judge need to know if you're not going to be here in September if the trial's going to go forward in July? Well, it's not. It's not. Even though it says it on paper, unless the judge makes some drastic decision, which we have to prepare for just in case, because he still has the final say. But it looks like it's going to be probably the very end of the year. It might be right on top of Brian Koberger, honestly, which would just be a mess. But why did they not let all the rest of the evidence in on the empty trail? Debbie, great question. The judge has to consider the evidence and how it was collected, how it came through, and there's admissibility rules. Say, for instance, and I don't think this was the case in Michael Turney's case, but it's an example. Say, for instance, the police showed up at your house without a warrant and just opened the door and rummaged through and found, let's say, illegal weapons or drugs or something like that. Not that you have either of those, Debbie. I'm just using that as example. But they just burst into your house without a warrant and find this evidence and then, charge you with the crime. And you go to court and they try to present this evidence. Well, evidence that's collected illegally is not admissible. Because they did not have a warrant, they would not be able to present that as evidence. And so basically you would go to court and they could not tell the jury that they found drugs and weapons. That would be excluded. And so that's an extreme case. But there are other rules about evidence. And say, for instance, hearsay. Say the only information they have about somebody doing something is through hearsay. It's like, someone told me that this happened. Unless you can get the person in there who can testify to the events themselves, that they firsthand witnessed and experienced, you can't get that evidence in. So there's, what other people said is not something that can be admissible. And that was the case in Michael Turney. There was a lot of comments and statements that were made. So the judge has to weigh all that evidence. He also has to look at evidence that may be a little bit related, but is sort of way out on the fringe. And it might be that, oh, by the way, he's committed these other crimes. Okay, in addition to the one we're charging here, he's committed these other things, and the judge has to look at that and say, we're only charging him with the one charge, and so we're going to exclude all that information about other things he's done, these other prior acts, and let the jury just focus on the charge that's at hand. And so even though those prior act convictions might sort of give us an idea of what type of person he is, and say, yeah, this does fit the pattern a little better, the judge says that's going to be more prejudicial than probative, meaning it makes him look bad in our eyes or the eyes of the jury instead of informs them as to the actual decision they make. So all those rules came into play, and that's what ended up just one by one, just excluding each piece of evidence. Okay, I can't see chat this way. I have to go vertical here. Did I miss any other questions? Oh, Cachette gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Looks like that went to Sherry Smith. Thank you, Cachette. Congratulations, Sherry. Let's see. Sugar glider, flying monkeys. Okay, I think that was the last. Oh, let's see. Riley wants you to read the book Where the Things Are. Where the Wild Things Are? Is that? I think if it's Where the Wild Things Are or something, I remember that book, the monster book. I think it's under copyright as well. We have to go all the way back to like War and Peace or something to find a book that's out of copyright that you can read. And even then, some of the abridgments are copyrighted. So, Mrs. already kicked you out of the house. What did you do? CG, no. This is my last trip for the summer as a youth counselor, basically. As I participate as an adult leader with youth groups. This is the third and final group for the year, so it's my last week away, and then I promise to just focus on work. Oh no, Brandy just got cut off. What happened? Problem on Brandy's channel? Oh no. I'd guess the night rodent was a southern flying squirrel, given that they are nocturnal sugar gliders are Australian. So southern flying squirrel. You have better audio video in the woods than most YouTubers have in a studio, Eric. Yeah, I do. It's been a lot of years assembling all this equipment, as you know. But it is fun to have the equipment to be able to do this. The fun part will be when we get to take this on the road and go to a courthouse, and where when the situation's right, where we're able to get our own stream for something that nobody else has, and that you guys will be able to follow. No Bigfoot yet. Okay, I'm hearing music. Hopefully you guys cannot hear the music. Rudy Patootie gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much. That went to... I don't know who got it. Justice Obsessed. Congratulations. A brand new member, Justice Obsessed. Good to have you here. First time in green. That is wonderful. Thank you, Rudy Patootie, for that. She'll settle for a private reading of Where the Wild Things Are. We might be able to arrange that. I can't live stream it, but I might be able to read it for her. How many trips do you usually take during the summer? Usually 1, maybe 2. 3 is a lot. Is a lot. When does Miss RA get to go on vacation? Next week. She's going to, it's not far, it's just Beaufort, but she's taking some of the kids and they're doing a cruise. I'll be home working. I'm not going to be with her. I mean, technically, I could probably drive there. It's only about an hour or two away, but they're renting an Airbnb there. Divine Creations, thank you as well. Gifted a membership, and that one went to Cindy's Crazy. Congratulations, Cindy. Thank you, Divine. Policy violation. I'm gonna check with Brandy here this afternoon and talk to her, see if I can help her out at all. When will we take Mrs. RA on vacation? Mrs. RA loves going on vacation. She loves camping at all sorts of hotels. She does not love camping in a tent. The bugs, the dirt, the sweat, the outhouses. We do have outhouses right down there. We also have like a shower house with running water and sinks and everything else. So the outhouse is not going to be used as far as I'm concerned. We do go on some trips now and then, and usually they're small. We usually we do overnighters, and so we'll plan a trip around a place we want to go, like a Williamsburg, or we'll find a destination if we're going. I think we're going to go up to DC. We were planning on doing that this summer, but things got shuffled around with our friends who are going to come with us. So we're going to do trips like that, but generally we don't usually do like a cruise or something like that. Sherry Smith, member for 3 months, says, thanks, Cachette, for making this possible. Congratulations on the 3 months, Sherry. That is awesome. Mrs. R.A. loves ice fishing instead. No. That gets me in big trouble. Okay. I think they're teaching first aid down there. And like dance lessons up here. It's crazy. All right. My grandson is at this Christian camp this week. I know he's having a ball, but we miss him. First time away for 5 days without family. Debbie, hope he has a blast. Hope it's something nice like this. This area is just beautiful. I mean, the trees are. I'd say we've got at least like 40 or 50-year-old trees here. So it's a huge tree canopy overhead. It's almost a complete canopy. So there's just scattered sunshine, which keeps it cool. The breeze is coming through in the morning, so. It's nice. And this is the first time I've seen mountains. Like there's more elevation drop in 100 feet here than I've seen in the last 3-4 years of being in North Carolina. It's awesome. So first time I've seen mountains in North Carolina. I know mountains out west that are big. Yeah, I'll talk to Brandy. I'll reach out to her after the live stream. We might be able to help her out a little bit. Having just gone through that myself, that's no fun. All right, let's see. We have do you know the details of what she was streaming this morning? Man, we camp in a rustic cabin. We'll have to, and I really want to talk to Brandy. Let's do a letter with Sarah Boone first, and then I'll give Brandy a call, because I know she's probably just devastated right now, and I don't want to leave her hanging there. Let's see. So I need to go to camera 3, right here. Cut. There we go. Okay, camera 3 is up. We are going to read through the Sarah Boone letters. This is if I show you here, we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. The first one that I found, if I've got all the numbers right, is dated the first. Is 4/20. Sorry, I just thought of something funny. 4/20/2022, which is our first letter. So we're gonna begin with this one, and as always, we need to have a little bit of music to go in the background. So give me just 1 second. I need this to loop. Man, I thought I could loop it, but I can't. Never mind. Okay. We'll do it anyway. Here we go. All right. Ready? It's time for a letter. April 20th, 2022. Judge Wayne C. Wooten, with his address at the courthouse, from Sarah Boone with her case number regarding motions, withdrawal, and continuance. Listen to the tone, because this is going to change over the week as we listen to her letters. Honorable Judge Wooten. I need to start over. Honorable Judge Wooten, thank you foremost and in advance for your invaluable time and concern in this very unexpected and incredibly confusing matter. I'm writing in regards to the requested withdrawal, most importantly, of my attorney, Mariko Padilla, and his/my team filed on 4/18/22, along with the continuance. Forgive me if this is the wrong approach in contacting you directly. It is. But I wanted you to be fully aware of the magnitude of my shock and disappointment in the betrayal of Mr. Padilla, as I have not in any way, by anyone, been provided any explanation for the aforementioned withdrawal, etc. I unfortunately had to learn of these documents by my former husband when calling to speak with my son, after making a commitment to me as my attorney over the past 2 years and 2 months ongoing, to fully and sufficiently represent me, also being made to believe we were a team. I am completely blindsided nonetheless in how this was and is being handled by a professional. I do not understand. With that being said, Your Honor, I am graciously requesting to be included and present, please, at this hearing on Friday, April 29th, 2022, at 9:30 a.m., so I am able to learn more and also explain the ongoing legitimate hindrances I have been facing, along with my inability to amply progress in the preparation for my upcoming trial and future. In my opinion, these concerns are what spurred these requests by my attorney in the first place. It is undoubtedly the most importance of me to fight for my truth, in which I thought my attorney was doing also. Thank you beyond measure for your very much needed assistance and understanding. I am flying blind. I don't know the process, procedure, or protocol for any of this since I've never been in the current situations I am in. First time murder, I think. I am eager to meet with you further to explain any and all questions and concerns, whomever you may have. Please know with great emphasis, I just want to move forward, especially for the length of time already being incarcerated, and remedy this entire predicament, however that may be, in the best possible manner, having my best interest and security above all else. Again, thank you profusely. I await your response with further direction in order to be in attendance and proceed forward. Exceptionally grateful, Sarah Boone. Beautiful. That one worked beautifully with the music. Brandy is back. Okay, thank you for the update. She may be back up. Is it just technical? Dallas-born, Boston-bred. I'm leaving on a camping trip in southern Maine today. Recovery addict, can't wait. Have some lobster while you're up there. That sounds wonderful. Is that letter date intentional? The 420? I don't know. She doesn't reference it, other than just the date that she's wrote it. I'm glad Brandy's back up. I did bring the piano with me. I played with my toes on the piano while I was reading. I'd like to ask if 1 year ago you saw yourself sitting in the woods reading letters from a girl named Sarah Boone. No. 1 year ago I was scrolling through job opportunities, and all of them were bad. They didn't fit. They weren't things I wanted to do. That was where I was a year ago. Okay, she started a new stream. Rosie, I'm hoping... I did the same thing. When I got one stream got taken down, I was able to start a new stream, and then it got taken down. I think it ended. So she may... If there's a ban, the ban may just be being processed against her. So the first one was taken down, but the ban hasn't been processed, if possible. So I want to talk to her about that. The video that was showing in court is over. Did Sarah Boone waive her right to a speedy trial? Her lawyer did for her. Now, the lawyer has the power of attorney. That decision should be made by her, by Sarah Boone. We'll see this in the letters as we go on throughout the week. But she seems to think that she didn't waive her right to a speedy trial. But she did in, I think it was October or September. You know, we can find that together. Let's give me just 1 second. Let me pull up her case file. Orange County. Record search. Sarah Boone, I'm not a robot. Search. Okay, here we go. We're going to go back to this view, so we can check out her case. The second one is the right case. We're on her case. We're scrolling down here to the docket of events, and I'm sorry if I'm covering part of this, but this little window we have to scroll quite a bit. You can see we've got the latest is the 7/24 hearing with trial. There's also a hearing on 7/21, so that's going to be Friday this week. That we're going to find out that they're not available because we've got the notice of unavailability that was filed as well. So let's see. No. The last correspondence was 6/6 of 2023. I'm just clicking on that really quickly. Oh, that was the judge saying he understood what was going on. Okay, so we're going to scroll way down. We're scrolling way down to the bottom and going to work up. See if we can see the speedy trial. Waiver of speedy trial. Boom, right there. So just did a quick search. 11/2 of 2020 is the waiver of speedy trial. And there's no document attached to this one. There's no document attached, so it's not like we can hear what happened. The court has recorded that the speedy trial was waived on November 2nd of 2020, which was probably about the last day that they could really claim, hey, you have to have a speedy trial. They waited till the end. But what might be telling is here, this motion for continuance that was filed 2 days later. Let's take a look at this. Sarah Boone, through counsel, filed this motion to continue trial. That was on the 4th, 2 days later. The defendant requires defense continuance for the upcoming trial date. The motion is made in good faith. The defendant would be prejudiced if motion were not granted. The state does not object to this motion. So that Padilla Law, the one she was complaining about, that she was the lawyer that she had for 2 years and 2 months in that letter, he filed the motion to continue, saying we need more time to get ready for this. And it wouldn't be fair to her if we were to proceed without that. So, let's see. So, yes, she did waive her right to a speedy trial. I think that answers the question. YouTube is taking everyone down lately. LNC got taken down? What trial is this? Okay, I need to know what happened here. Was there some evidence shown in court that was highly inappropriate? She's on the Nellie trial, right? It had to have been firearm related. Love the guy in the background, walk it off. Yeah, he's teaching medical, if they can't walk, how they can do like the fireman carry and stuff like that. The Mellie trial. What was the video? It was a video in the Mellie trial. We need all the scoop. It's a hot mic in the background. Yeah. I could turn down the gain a little bit, and he's just the gentleman that's teaching is from I think he's from Kinston, but he's got a loud voice always. You can just hear him everywhere. Jay's on the same trial. How many times can Sarah continue? Sarah doesn't have like a set number of times you can continue, but basically early on in the trial, the judge is much more willing to grant a continuance. The judge wants to hear cases. He wants things to progress. He wants somebody to have their day in court. He wants the process to work through. You don't just want the backlog to just get larger and larger. I mean, if he did, he could just grant everybody continuances and just push it up, kick the bucket down the road. He's not going to do that. He wants the case to move forward. So in this case, he's going to, as you go on, basically, probably in a murder trial. Oh man, now the trees are going to be yelling at us as the citadels start chiming. But this just gets louder. By the end of the day, this is deafening, just so you know. The first 2 years are probably very easy continuances to get, but as that time progresses, the judge is going to be a little more demanding of the lawyers, saying, why do you need more time? How much more time do you need? I would like to schedule this. We'd like to get this to a trial. And now once you've hit that 3-year mark, even with the waiver of the speedy trial, the judge is pushing back a lot, saying, look, you've had enough time. That's a big fly. If it lands on me, Cachette, you know what to do. But the judge is going to push back and say, look, this needs to move forward. You guys, you need to find a way to make this happen sooner. Debbie says, if something like that happened to me, I would demand a speedy trial. I wouldn't want to spend 4 birthdays in 3 years in jail. I love the reference. The 4 birthdays in 3 years is a reference to one of Sarah's other letters, which we will talk about this week. The video was a documentary. Legal Vices was also shut off. Wow. Well, this is a risk. I'll tell you this: what Brandy saw, Law and Crime, Legal Vices, everybody who's getting hit by this. This is a risk because YouTube has some terms of service that say we don't allow certain types of material on our on YouTube at all, and some of them are very restrictive, that aren't showing somebody committing a crime or pornography, things like that. These are bad, but they also have some what could almost be viewed as political agenda items that they don't say. For instance, when it comes to firearms, they're very, very restrictive about what is allowed to be shown. So even just mentioning it can cause problems for monetization. But if you were to actually display an actual firearm or explain how to use one or something like that, you can get demonetized and you flirt with a strike on content. So when you have a court case that has those sorts of elements in it, it's evidence that's presented to the jury. It's covered. We hear the audio. Sometimes we see the video of that. And now you've got, even though it's like Inception because it's inside a video, right? You're sharing a video from the courtroom and they're sharing a video from in the courtroom. Then you've got YouTube that hears that audio or sees that video, or the algorithm, the computer, the AI detects that, and you can run afoul of that. It sounds like that's what happened. Is Daryl Brooks' trial start on Friday? I thought he took a plea deal. Is there another? Melly broke the internet. I still have Brandy on. I don't know how. I'll check up with her. And honestly, this is the reason. This is one of the reasons why I am not able to show the Shabusiness trial, which is scheduled to start the 24th. The content in the trial, the depictions, the descriptions, any images that may be shown, even if they suddenly get shown on the screen and it's like, oops, and we cut away from it, even a single frame is enough to run afoul of YouTube and get a content strike. So everyone who's handling the Melly trial today sees that. Bad air coming down from Canada to Pittsburgh. The fires are still wreaking havoc. Looks like Jay was shut down too. Man. It's possible that on something like this, that obviously Law and Crime is going to be able to contact their YouTube consultant, because once you're over about 100,000 subscribers, you get a dedicated individual, like a real life person, and a number you can call and talk to somebody. So if there's an issue like this, you can say, hey, this is what it was. This is how we're doing it. This is public information for a trial. They treat that there's a little more leeway there, and they'll give you a little more flexibility than if you just posted your own video with the same type of content in it. Okay. All right. Is there anything else we need to go over here this morning? Do you want to do a second letter this morning? Yes, thanks, Canada. Blame Canada. No, Canada's awesome. but understand the fires they're dealing with. It's not easy to put out a fire in Canada when it's deep in the forest. Fighting it is extremely, extremely difficult. The Border Patrol agent got life without parole. We need to get you up to 100,000 then. Maybe that might happen at some point. Grizzly True Crime is planning on covering the show business trial. Yes, and then Alternate Jurors was going to cover it as well. That's a channel we just found recently that's also covered some Sarah Boone hearing that I could not cover. Just be very careful. That's all I'd say to those channels. Just be aware of what the risks are and be very careful of those. Also, where are you? You're not at home? No, I'm Silly Claus. I am out in the woods. I'm in the woods, and I can show you. Let me get off this page and go here. That work? Okay. I'm in the woods. Oh, look, they're doing the fireman carry down there. So we're up here. I'm right here. Again, this is weird. I've actually camped way down here. I'm not sure if you can see. Right over the hill on the right-hand side of the screen. You can see the back end of Mrs. R.A.'s car way over there. But I'm at a lake. I don't even know the name of the lake yet. I have not seen it. All I know is that it's flooded and it's a lot of water. Okay, let's see. I have time. This is not a vacation for me. Obviously, I'm working. It is fun to be here, and it's nice, and it's cool, and I like it. But at the same time, we are working. We're cooking. We're teaching. I've got to teach a class on Thursday. Actually, 3 classes on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to go live first thing in the morning, so we probably need to do another Sarah Boone letter tonight. Tomorrow, we're going tubing on the river. Which is going to be a blast. It's going to be awesome, honestly. It's a half-hour drive to get there, and then you float for several hours down the river, and it's going to be crazy because the water's so high. Who says how late the jurors have to stay when they are in deliberating? Rosie, generally the judge sets that because he has responsibility over the court. So all the employees of the court, they leave at a set time. The bailiffs, there's a shift that their shift is over. So the judge will set that time and say, okay, now we're done for the day. You go home and then come back. So he does have control over that. But at the same time, the jury might say, we're really close. Can we just wait? And the judge might, say yes or no. But generally, he's going to say, we put in a full day. We get less productive after 10 hours of work. So, wear your sunscreen. I will. I'll wear sunscreen and maybe even mosquito repellent if I need it. Mrs. Ari's car should have plenty of room to sleep in if you can put the seats down. I would have to take the back seats out, and I think they do come all the way out. And then the front seats roll forward. So there is room, but it's still, it's not comfortable. This is a very pretty place. North Carolina is beautiful. I love it. It's my break. Yeah, it's a rough few days. I'll tell you, last night we had tacos. We had 3 different kinds of meat. One was a spicy chicken. We had pork. We had just regular chicken. Cilantro rice, black beans, homemade fresh salsa, cilantro and onions, sour cream, shredded cheese, about 2 gallons of guac, just food galore. There was so much food, and then this morning we had scrambled eggs, had some cereal, we got bananas. I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch for those that are curious, but we're gonna eat fine. We're gonna eat well. Is there a fire ban, or can you have campfires? Kevin, we can have campfires. if you can find wood dry enough to burn. This area, the campfires we have, each campground has a fire pit and a fire ring, a metal fire ring, which makes it nice and safe and easy to use in a safe manner. Tire Healer, member for 5 months. Next month, you're going to be in yellow. What location are you at? I'm west of Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem. I think I said that right. I'm sort of like halfway between Winston-Salem and the Blue River, the Parkway. I can't remember what it is, but I'm almost to the eastern border of North Carolina, or the western border of North Carolina. I have not used any mosquito repellent yet, Michael, and I have not been bit at all. I say as I scratch my leg, but I have not been bit. No mosquitoes. Are we ready for one more letter from Sarah Boone? Let's do another one, just because I know I'm not going to be able to go live tomorrow morning with the trip. Let's get this one right here. And we only have the one sad song. Okay, we'll do letter number 2. This is a few months later. This is 10/32. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, this is a quick one. This is a quick one, so we have to start the music here. This is October 3rd, 2022. Addressed to Frank J. Bankowitz. Now, Frank J. Bankowitz is her new lawyer. After she went through a whole spat of lawyers, this was the new lawyer that was assigned to her. So she had like five get excused, and now Frank's on the case. So she addressed it to Frank, copies the judge. We're now reading the judge's copy of the letter. Mr. Bankowitz, I am writing in regards to not hearing from you and from becoming very concerned after receiving no response to any of my daily calls or from the letters I've sent. As of today, October 3rd, you have been my court-appointed attorney for almost 3 months, 12 weeks, 84 days, and only spoken to me 3 times. 7/14/22, video introduction, 15 minutes. 8/2/22, video update, 15 minutes. 8/22/22, visit in person, 90 minutes. I have written 2 letters in the meantime also, and my most recent I sent on 9/12/2022 with no response. I am unaware of the difficulties you are having in communicating with me, video, phone, letter, in person, especially via phone, which to me is the simplest form of doing so, even if just for a brief update, which takes only minutes. I believed by you giving me your personal cell number, you were going to answer. I would at least known all is well and have better understanding of the status of some things, what to plan on or what I may need to work on. With no communication makes my end more difficult, drawn out and painful. Please figure out whatever is necessary for my phone calls to be answered, which you will be reimbursed for when you submit your costs. It feels as this rate of communication and meetings and you just coming on board, not having all my discovery to go over, still on top of everything else to be done in depth. How much longer am I really going to be here, added to the 32 months already? Especially if we communicate. However, you eventually do, only 1 time a month, if that. As for all the month of September, I know nothing from not hearing from you. I understand you have other clients, as I am one also, and you've been recuperating from your back. But remember, please, how long I've been here. You are my 6th attorney, not by choice, and the magnitude of my case, with not knowing what's going on and where you are, how much harder it is for me. I want to get on with my life, Mr. Bankowitz, and not miss any more time necessary from my son. I've already missed 4 of his birthdays and spent 3 of my own in here. Please understand. I know, too, I'm patient. Clearly, after all the time already invested, I am still smiling and willing to go on above and beyond. I'm still smiling. Let's see. Lost my place. I am still smiling and willing to go above and beyond wherever I need to properly and truthfully convey my very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything, which I boldly told you in our last meeting last month. I am dedicated, ready to start, overdue. I'm also so very grateful, Mr. Bankowitz, for you, all you are doing, all you have done, and will do. We're in this together. Lucky. And I'm so blessed you're my attorney. God has put us in each other's paths for a reason, and I can't wait to see what you and he will do. I'm praying the 6 times the charm. Please respond. I wait your response. Sarah Boone. I miss the thank you profusely, Sarah Boone. So this is her second letter has some interesting things in it. Particularly the part that's funny is the attitude she takes with Frank Bankowitz. First of all, she's upset that she's been through 6 lawyers and she doesn't know why some of them even quit. They're just like, I'm out of here. And early on, the judge just granted it. He's like, okay, sure. There's a problem. It's all right. But as more and more lawyers were like, hey, me too, he's like, look, you need to give a reason. And sometimes they had a good reason. And now Frank, he tried as well. He tried to get off the case. And the judge's like, look, just because you have a bad client doesn't mean you can get off the case. I need somebody to represent her. And Frank, you're the man. And so Frank is in this for the long haul. And Sarah's, luckily, she says, hey, God put us together for a reason. I can't wait to see what will become of us. But she's also, very impatient. She's been in for, she says 3 years. So 2020, 2021, 2022. Now she's add another year to that. So she's really racking up the time here. All right, that is all I have for today. We've got 2 letters in. We'll start on letter number 3 when we go live again. I'm thinking it'll be tomorrow afternoon if I can squeeze in the time. It will be hot and sweaty tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be miserable. But we want to read a couple of those letters. It's squeaky. It's not flatulent. It's just for your reference. Thanks for catching that. It's the chair. I can replicate the sound. She's as bad as Tisha. Pretty bad. Passive aggressive in a big way. How does she think she will dodge a bullet? Ann Jacobs, she honestly believes that if she can just talk to people and explain the simple truth that it wasn't intentional, that is enough. That she believes that that intentional is key to her conviction. They would have to prove that it was intentional, and she thinks it wasn't intentional because it was an accident. I accidentally left him in the suitcase I stuffed him in. And stuffing him in did not kill him. It's the leaving him in that was the problem. And I watched the video again this morning. It's still just as hard to watch that video of her that she filmed of George in the suitcase. In the suitcase, you can see him struggling to get out. And in this one, it's flipped over so the door side is on the bottom. There's another video where the door side is up. So she's clearly moved it around a little bit. You can tell her voice, her words are a little slurred. So I do believe alcohol was a factor in this one. But when does the trial start? Silly Claus, it's scheduled for a week from yesterday, for the 24th. And I wish that were the case. I wish it would start on the 24th. But the problem is the defense has tried to get an expert witness to testify in Sarah's defense that she did what she did because she was a battered wife. And there is a history of domestic abuse in their relationship. That actually it goes both ways. Both the decedent and the defendant have served time in jail for domestic abuse in this relationship. So it was not the amazing relationship that maybe the fairy tale relationship that we would like to have everyone have. It was not. It had its troubles, but the problem is in that defense, if they get an expert, if they have indeed got an expert that will testify to this, then the biggest argument or the biggest hurdle they have to overcome is her own testimony to the police the day after, where she says nothing was wrong in the relationship. We were doing great. We're great friends. We've patched everything up. We're happy, and it's wonderful. So that's her biggest obstacle. She's going to be her biggest. The most important testimony against her is going to be herself, whether it's in the video that she shot or what she said in the police interview. That's going to be the most detrimental to her case. Anyway, so if they do have a witness or an expert witness that is going to testify, which it sounds like they do, that's going to take some time, because they've in the last hearing that happened last week, we heard that the judge, we heard them tell the judge basically, we've got our expert witness, but we're having trouble getting them paid. We need them to get paid because they won't release the report until they get paid. That report is how they can then, they basically have to review the report, which is going to be probably 20 to 40 pages. You know, it's going to have, it's not going to be like a 2-3 word report, but it's going to have their findings, and the defense has to go over it first and work it into their case, so they can have this logical theory of their defense and how it's going to fit together. And then the prosecution has the right to that discovery, so they can look at that and say, okay, we'd like to actually take issue with some of the things that were brought up in that report, and we need time to do that, and we probably need our own expert witness as well to do that. So we need, 2 or 3 weeks to review this testimony once it comes in, this report, and then we'll have to find our, during that time we'll have our expert witness. They're going to need some time to review it. Then they're going to send us their report, and then we're going to need time to review their report. So all this just stacks on itself, and it's going to take some time. I imagine you guys are going to see Mrs. R.A. again, maybe as soon as this afternoon. Hopefully she'll call me before she goes live next time. Amber says, my concern for Sarah Boone is fair or impartial jury because of how much publicity her case has gotten at this point. Jury selection may take 2 months. Yes, it's been big, and she, honestly, she's contributed to that same problem. Her letters have gone viral. Look at, all of us here have probably watched a video where we've discussed or heard, read, or looked at or accessed ourselves the letters she sent to the judge, because they are so absurd that, just looking into the mind of this defendant is, you can do that through her own words, through her writings, which, guess what, are admissible. Okay, this is public record. So if she says something in here that can be harmful to her case, it's her own fault. She really should not be writing to the judge. One of her 6 attorneys should have told her that, but she still does it, and it's just frustrating. Okay. The experts know the testimony is career-ending. They're going to find. We've heard a couple experts. Look at the expert in Letitia Stout. Okay, look at the expert that happened in that case, and the type of testimony we heard that was just absurd. Literally, it was throughout all of it. It just, the one thing I heard was, well, if you pay people enough money, they will say anything, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a witness that does that. Oh my goodness, we're getting a phone call. I wish I could patch it in. Let's see. Hello?
Hello, Dwayne?
Hello?
Dwayne?
Yes?
Hey, Dwayne, my name is Freddie. I work here at the fulfillment department at Supreme Travel. How you doing today, my man?
Hey, doing good, Freddie. How are you?
Awesome. Hey, I'm blessed, man. Today's going to be a beautiful day.
It is.
Look, the reason I'm calling you is in regards to the travel credit that you have on file with us today, okay? Now, I'm going to be completely honest. When a file comes to my desk, my job is usually to close them out, especially when they're fixing to expire. But I looked at your file and I seen how much credit you had available. I wanted to touch bases with you, my man. I didn't feel comfortable closing it out without giving you the opportunity to use the funds you had available. Okay, now, do you see yourself traveling in the future, my man?
I'd like to go on a cruise.
Oh, well, that's awesome, man. This is perfect. Like I said, it's probably a blessing. So you have $1,500 credit for a travel package. So whether you use it 6 months from now or 6 years, it's good for a lifetime, okay? And also, all transfer fees are waived. So if you decide to give it to a family or relative, you don't have to pay anything. But look, what I'm going to do today, my man, is I'm going to switch it up to a VIP destination package since it's in here for a little minute. So what that is, it's just going to unlock 40 cities. You can choose 3 of those cities to choose from. Not one, you can go to 3 of them, like New York, New Orleans, Smoky Mountains, Fort Lauderdale, Myrtle Beach, or even Vegas. Okay,
could I do like Vegas, New York, and Los Angeles in one?
You could, yeah, man. That's perfect. You could do that. And you said you want to go to a cruise, right?
Yes. I'd like to do an inland cruise. Maybe Jackson Hole.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm going to go ahead and give you an exclusive flex cruise, okay? So
Okay.
that's 6 days and 5 nights of accommodation. You have the Carnival or Norwegian, the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line to choose from. And they are offering 10 different ports of the country like Baltimore, Galveston, Cape Carnival, and Charleston, okay, my man?
Do they have
also, man, so,
Do they have Jackson Hole?
Yeah, they do. Jackson Hole's right there, too.
Yes.
Look, I'm going to also help you out, man. I'm going to go ahead and pay for your plane tickets. So all your including round airfare is also taken care of, all right?
I was actually just going to hitchhike there. I've done that before.
Nah, man, don't hitchhike there, man. I'm going to pay for your plane tickets.
I'm actually scared of heights. That's why I'm hesitant to fly.
Okay, well,
I can hitchhike.
well,
I could probably make it in like a week or two. I can get pretty much across the country.
Okay, well, look, we can actually figure out a way so you don't have to fly, but they are going to give you the plane tickets to use or to give away, okay?
Oh, man,
Look,
I could give them away. I know a
yeah,
lot of
so
people
look.
that are probably interested in some plane tickets.
Oh, yeah, man. So, okay, looking at your account, it looks like the travel credit that you have on file pretty much pays for everything, okay?
Sweet. All right.
So
I guess it's a done deal then. Thank you.
Yeah, look, the only thing remaining is probably just your booking fee and whatever the small processing fee is and your booking.
Just
So look, they're actually
tell you what,
they're running a live promotion.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll let you have the plane tickets. You pay the booking fee, and then we'll be good. You'll get free tickets.
I wish I could take them, but since I work here, I can't accept them.
I won't tell anybody.
But look, man, if you give me a moment to find out what the processing fee is, I promise you won't be disappointed, okay?
All right. This is the Norwegian Jackson Hole cruise? Is that the one we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to go with that one, okay?
Okay.
Give me a second and I got you, okay?
Thank you for holding. This is Emily. I'm the promotional director. Hello, Dwayne.
Yes, I was talking to Freddie. Is he not available?
Well, they transferred you over to me because you came up in the system as a preferred traveler. So they asked me to step on the line to see if I could help you out a little bit. They did say they went over most of the details about the package and the promotion with you. And I also see you qualified for a promotional gift as well. So before I get into that, did you have any questions so far about what they went over so far with you?
Yeah, I was talking to Freddie. He said there was a processing fee. I was going to work out with him. I was going to sell him my free tickets.
He would not be able to do anything for you. His job is to make sure you get over to me, and it's that simple.
All right. I'll sell him to you if you'd like. That would be great.
Excuse me?
Would you like him instead if he can't?
Okay, so would you like me to close out your travel credit, sir?
What would that be?
It's a $1,500 travel credit. That's why we're calling you.
He said it doesn't expire.
It's pretty
Why are you closing it?
substantial. No, the travel credit is set to expire today, so we're reaching out to you to give you one last opportunity to use it. So help me help you if you want to travel, okay?
He told me he's booking the Norwegian line for Jackson Hole. Is that not?
Okay, so he wouldn't be able to book anything. He doesn't work in booking.
Man.
Okay?
I'm really confused now.
So you have a $1,500 travel credit that you're able to use towards the cost of a brand new travel package, and the package will never expire. But you do have to register with us for that package not to expire, because the travel credits that you do have on file are set to expire today. And it does look like we tried reaching out to you quite a few times in regards to this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Can you talk a little louder?
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay, so it looks like you have a travel credit that's set to expire today. That's why we're calling you. If you do decide to use them with us, the new package would never expire, but would have to get you registered. And this is what you're receiving: 3 separate VIP destinations. You get to choose where and choose when you want to go on each trip. It's a list of over 200 resorts and it also includes international travel. Once you take the first vacation with us and attend that presentation at our host resort, you're going to be receiving as a gift an all-inclusive cruise where you get to choose the cruise line. We're contracted with Norwegian, Royal Caribbean International, and Carnival. It is an all-inclusive cruise. It is good for 2 adults, and we do provide transportation to get you to and from any major U.S. port of call that we are contracted with. We're contracted with about 12 of them.
Okay. I was going to do the Norwegian cruise line on the Jackson Hole, the Snake River cruise.
Okay, so whichever cruises that Norwegian offer, you would be able to choose.
Yeah, Freddie already lined up that one. He confirmed that one for me, so that sounds like what I'd like to do.
So,
Can I bring other people on this, or do I have?
So it would be good for 2 adults. If you want to add anybody else besides the 2 that we're covering, anything is upgradable. You can certainly add other people.
Okay, I've got like
all you got to do is upgrade the cabin.
Okay, I've got like 22,600 YouTube subscribers that are listening right now, and they'd like to come with.
Okay. Well, them 22,000 YouTube subscribers need to get their own travel package.
Oh man, if only they were named Dwayne, then they could go.
Listen, I don't have time to play with you, Dwayne. Enjoy traveling and paying full price. I'm gonna cancel out your travel credit.
You know
Have
what?
a good day.
Thank you so much. Please. Oh man. She's gone. I mean, I'm getting a little hold music, which would probably get me a copyright strike. I'm still on hold. She's canceling it out. Ma'am, I changed my mind. How do I pay? Ma'am? It's funny because she's working. She doesn't want to hang up on me because that shows bad on her metrics on the call center. When she hangs up on a client, it looks bad. When I hang up, it looks good. So she's waiting for me to hang up, but I can wait all day. I can just tie up her phone line. And that also looks bad because she's not getting a closure and she's staying on the phone a long time. They're pushing her to try to get the, I'm turning off the speaker so we don't get a strike from the music. So ma'am, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here on the phone for about 6 hours because I've got nothing to do. I'm actually sitting out in the forest under canopy in a lawn chair. It is great. I'm having a grand old time. I just want to waste as much of your time as I can so that you don't call other people and scam them out of money. So we're just gonna kick back and take it easy. So as a matter of fact, I think I've got a little sound effect just for that will work for you.
I was kick back, taking it easy.
Yep, I'm kick back, taking it easy. All right, so we'll just let that go. What I'm most excited about is these people seem to be on board with the Norwegian cruise line in Jackson Hole, which the last one was adamant did not exist. Maybe it's because I didn't tell them about the fishing, but at least these guys are ready to play ball. So good stuff, man. Have fun traveling and paying full price. Is that what she said? Is that how she closed it out? I'm paying full price. Yeah, give us the number. The number that called me was 801-760-1869. Just let them know you're also named Dwayne, and you too could get this scam. Just for anyone who is in any way confused, this is not a legitimate offer. This is not a legitimate company. Yes, it's a legitimate company, but the process they're doing is a scam. They are signing you up for something that you could get for free through a travel agent. Their discounted amount is taken off of an inflated price. So you end up paying the same anyway, and you paid a processing fee up front, even if you don't use them. This is just a scam. It makes people think they won. It makes them think like, yay, I'm going to do this. I'd never be able to afford this otherwise. They might not know any better, and so they sign up for something and end up it not being what they want. Yes, they might actually have a vacation package available in there, but it's a worse deal than you would have gotten anywhere else. So 22,000 of Dwaynes are about to call in. Her name is Emily. Yes, and Freddie was quite helpful as well. I have to admit, I'm going to put him in for a raise. Please don't hang up. They just hung up. They just dropped the call. After 10 minutes, they dropped it. Oh, man. I thought you were leaving and coming back to this, Ashley. Yeah. I get a lot of these calls. This phone number, was attached to somebody named Dwayne Bond. Don't know who Dwayne Bond is. I'm not even sure if it's a real person. But there are two things they usually call. One is that they think I own some property in Ogden, Utah that is distressed, that's like the bank is trying to collect, and they're calling to sort of buy it before the bank gets it and buy it at a supreme discount. Not going to happen because I don't own the property. And in addition, they also call me for these travel scams because apparently Dwayne Bond fell for one before or something. So I'm on a list, or Dwayne is anyway, whoever that is, and so they keep calling me about that. Need the number again? It's Amber posted it. That's what. Now just know that number may be a spoofed number, meaning it could be somebody else's legitimate number that they just made show up on the caller ID. So might not be good. Anyway, that's fun. That made my morning. I'm just excited about the cruise, honestly. The next one, we'll have to plan together and see what to say. I like to change it up. I don't like using the same story every time they call. So we'll get it figured out. The funny thing is, even though she threatened me with canceling my credit, they're going to keep calling. My number keeps getting rotated through the list. Let's see. Just got an attachment from somebody. Wait for it. Okay. Unrelated, but thank you. Okay. I think we're good. It is 10:30 here. I realize it's a short day. I was expecting the Michael Turney case to go a little longer, even though we sort of discussed that this would be a possible outcome. Good friend Bruce sent me a happy pickle month. I guess it's National Pickle Month this month, so that's awesome. But so we thought that was going to happen, and Thomas sent a link in Mod Chat, and I saw this story. Apparently, Alex Murdaugh in jail gets a iPad, and he's been like video conferencing people, and he's like shirtless. He's like pulling off his best Vladimir Putin type impression. So apparently he's been video chatting people from prison. But that's crazy. All right, that's everything. That's it. We're done. I'm all caught up. We're going to. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. If the Sarah Boone letter drops, we're going to go live. I'm going to sort of drop whatever I'm doing and try to go live, as long as I'm here with equipment, even if it's not the best format. I mean, even if I don't have it set up like this, because I can't leave this equipment just sitting here, because this is just a campground the random strangers walk through. So I have to tear this down every time, and it does take about, not 42, but it takes about 15 cables to make this happen. So, all right, anything else I can do for you guys before we go? Let's see. Horrible, horrible pictures. You get the Microsoft scammers. Those are rough ones, because if they can get access to your computer, they can do awful things. Mostly they make it look like you've logged into your bank account and they've paid you too much money, and then they try to get you to send money to them, but actually they never paid you the money. They just made it look like that in your account, and it looks very convincing. And then once you send them the money, it's gone. And they often try to use gift cards to do it. It's a big scam. And thank you. It's wonderful. I love when I get spam calls as well. Alex, yeah, those pictures are rough. Have fun tomorrow. I hope to. It's going to be awesome. Can't we watch something? Maisla, I don't have anything set up. I'm getting a phone call. Hang on. Hello. Hello.
Hi, this is Emily. I'm speaking to Dan.
Yes, Dwayne.
Potential buyer here in this area, and I'm checking regarding the property at 5197 South, 1150 West. Maybe you're interested in selling it for a cash offer.
Do you have a number in mind?
Actually, I calculate the offer depending on the condition of the property. But let me ask you before taking the condition, do you have a number in mind? You want to discuss it with me?
Well, I'd like to negotiate, and I was hoping you would be the first one to put a number out on the table, because I don't want to leave money on the table if you're willing to pay more.
Yeah, I got you. So let me ask you regarding the condition of the roof and AC.
There's a hole in the roof where the AC was.
How old the roof is?
35 years.
35 years. And the AC is working good or it needs repairs?
It would need to be lifted back up through the roof and put back on the ceiling, because it fell through the roof. So it's actually in the living room now. So it's not. I think it works, but it has to be put back up.
Yeah, got you, sir. What about kitchens and bathrooms?
Yes, it has both.
No, I mean condition of the kitchens and bathrooms, the appliance, the upgrades, the repairs needed.
The kitchen has a really nice linoleum that's still pretty much in good condition. It's the avocado color, which was really popular when the house was built. So it really blends well with the rest of the appliances and things. So I think it would show well. It does have a bit of a wave to it, so it's a little bit of a tripping hazard, but you just need to nail it down in a couple areas, and it should be fine in the kitchen. The bathroom, there are two bathrooms. One of them, honestly, it's plugged, and I just cannot get the toilet to clear. So I just use the other one, but it works great.
Yeah, got you, sir. As I can see here, it's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, right?
Yes. I use the bedrooms as storage, and honestly, you won't be able to go into the bedrooms because they're like I can barely even open the door. But the one bedroom is good.
Yeah, got you. What type of flooring all over the house?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What type of flooring all over the house?
I'd say it's the original wood. What do they call it's the pressed wood, the plywood.
You live in this property right now, right?
I come and go a little bit. We've had some issues with the neighbors, and they're not happy with me because of some things in the yard. So I normally don't answer the door because it's usually the neighbors or the police. So I go out the back. But I try to sleep there most nights.
Yeah, I mean, it's vacant right now.
Officially, it looks that way from the boarded up windows, but I am there often.
Yeah, got you, sir. So if you reach an agreement regarding it, how soon do you think you can do the closing?
Well, today, if the number's right.
Yeah, I got you, sir. For how long did you own it?
Long time. It was actually bequeathed to me from a great aunt.
Sorry?
It was bequeathed to me, when she died. It was in her will that was sent to me.
Yeah, got you, sir. Okay, there is no mortgage or back taxes for this property, right?
Oh, there's some taxes. I don't know how much the number is too, because they keep saying there's interest that applies to them. But it's probably just a couple years of taxes, 6 years.
Yeah, got it. Okay, I think I took all the information needed regarding the property. What is the best time to give a call back to set a number and also to come and see the property?
Come and see it. I don't know. The problem is I've got a lot of people who are coming. There are 22,600 of my YouTube subscribers that are interested in this property. They're listening right now to the call, and I don't own any property in Ogden, and I don't know who Dwayne is. But you guys keep calling, and so I thought I'd play along.
is not your property.
And it's not me either. I have no idea who the person is you keep calling for. It's been years I've been getting these calls. But I will waste your time every time.
I'm not a company or stuff like that. I'm Emily Jones, potential buyer, and this is my first time to give a call on your number.
Emily, can you answer a question? You've been really helpful in this one, honestly. Can you tell me who you pay for your leads? Because I can tell you that they're ripping you off. Yeah,
Actually, I'm working individually with my partner here in this area. We're investing all over the state. So I'm not a company that keep calling people. I'm not working with a huge institution or stuff like that. I'm working individually. So this is my first time to give a call.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you. Have a great day.
You too, Emily. Bye. Oh, man. Poor girl. 2 in 1 day. 2 in 1 day. It was Emily. Yes, another Emily. Yes, she is actually a legitimate buyer. This is funny because these companies, there's somebody out there who like sells like a course on how to get rich in real estate, and they tell you to go buy distressed properties. And so you contact the owner on record, and you call them and say, hey, I'll give you a cash offer and I'll buy it, and so it solves all the world's problems, and then they turn around and flip it for a lot more money. So whoever she's buying her information from, these leads, the information is wrong. It is not my number. There's no Dwayne. There's no property. I often make up stuff about the property that is. I want to bet we get another call. Says Tish. I often make up information about the property, but it's funny. I told her the swamp cooler had fallen through the roof and was in the living room, and that there's 40-year-old linoleum, and the house was basically a hoarder's house, and she still was on board with it. Different Emily. Anyway, on that note, we'll end the live stream. we've had two prank calls in one. Take a picture of the outhouse and send it down the toilet. Yeah, there's one issue with the toilet, as you can see. There's just a hole and it's mostly full. I'm not sure if I even want to go in there to do that, but that would be funny. That's good times. Good times. All right. On that note, I'm going to wrap up and put stuff away. We've got some things going this afternoon. Eventually, I'm going to have to start prepping lunch and all that. So, are we good? I'm not Steve Scamley. I think we're good. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me out here in nature as we talk about true crime. We will be back in court soon enough. It'll be a little bit, but after this week, we'll be back following things. We will follow more of the letters from Sarah Boone. We're also going to watch for the new letter to drop when that happens. We're going to be reading that for you as well. There's probably going to be a Mrs. R.A. live streaming here at some point this week. We'll see. She got up early to go to Raleigh. Sorry, I got hiccups all of a sudden. She got up early to go to Raleigh, so if she's not too exhausted or too overheated when she gets back home, we'll probably do a live stream really quickly and just catch up with you guys. That'll be a quick one. It'll be fun, but feel free to chime in. Hopefully I can be on video as well with her on StreamYard. That would be excellent. There's the music. Yeah, that's it. Watch out for the ticks. There have been no ticks so far. Nobody's reported any ticks. No mosquitoes. I don't know what they did. Maybe we're probably like wading through pesticide of some sort. But so far the bugs, they're not even biting flies. I don't know how we won the lottery on the insect side, but we did, and it's great. So thank you all. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and take a prank call or two. Have fun with that too. And please stay safe till we go live again. It'll probably be. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be this afternoon. Obviously, if the letter drops, it'll be this afternoon. If Mrs. R.A. comes on, it'll be this afternoon. If not, it will be probably tomorrow afternoon because I'll be out on the river for a few hours at least until probably lunchtime or so for that. So thank you all. It has been a lot of fun. I love that we can connect even when I'm out and about. You guys are amazing. Have a great day. I don't know how to end this. We'll see you. Still live. Have to actually manually shut off the encoder